Hi everybody, welcome back. Again, Tony with Shinsho Yoga, and today I want to talk to you about why Savasana is so important. Savasana, corpse pose, the nap at the end of yoga, what everybody mainly goes to yoga for, but often in a lot of classes is not, again, in my opinion, treated properly. I'm not trying to be critical of other teachers. It's just I don't think people understand how important Savasana is. And in some points of view, which I agree with many of them, is the most important part of the practice, is Savasana at the end of your asana. At the end of your asana practice, end of your physical yoga practice, to come into Savasana, to come into that corpse pose. Why is it so important? And why is it so important to be restful, peaceful, quiet, and still during that? Yoga is medicine. Yoga is medicine. Now, saying this in 2020, right? You might think, no, Tylenol, Advil, whatever you think of, penicillin is medicine. That's how the modern view of medicine is, but not 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, this was medicine, right? And it still is medicine, but it's not the type of medicine you're used to, right? The medicine that we take in the modern world is this allopathic style of medicine, this style of medicine that treats symptoms, not causes, and will alleviate symptoms or suppress symptoms in a momentary period of time. If you have a headache, right? You take your Advil, right? And 20 minutes later, the headache goes away, hopefully. But it didn't cure the cause of the headache. It just suppressed the symptoms. Yoga is homeopathic medicine. It's natural medicine. It doesn't avert the symptom. It goes after the cause. Right? And there's so many things that go on with the body that cause so many issues. If we're just talking about the physical asana practice, not even talking about if we're into pranayama or meditative, the more meditative styles, things that we do, right? Just your standard physical asana, your physical yoga class. There are so many things in those postures that you do that alleviate so much. A physical practice is so important in our world. I am a Zen Buddhist, so I am a disciplined meditator. I have a strict formal practice that I follow. There are many Zen Buddhists I know, right, that don't have a body practice in addition to their physical practice. And they don't look healthy. They just sit and meditate. And that's wonderful to have that discipline. But you also have to have a physical body practice. You have to be able to move the body. You have to be able to work the body. That's why Krishnamacharya came up with the vinyasa, right, to invigorate the body. Now, as we get older in age and as our body changes, those levels are going to change. You may not be able to do it the same way at 60 that you did at 20, right? Or at 80, the same way you did at 40. You adjust as time goes on, but you need to maintain that practice. You need to maintain the medicine. So in our physical practice, we go through this vigorous practice mostly. Right? Maybe some classes it's not, but we're still working the body, working the muscles. There is science behind this, right? There is yogic science behind it. There are reasons we do all of this. But as you are going through these postures, you are applying the medicine. That's what you're doing. As you go through the postures, you are applying the medicine. When you take medicine, you have to give it time to work. If you take, in our modern era, say you have an infection and you take an antibiotic, what will they tell you? They'll say, don't take on an empty stomach, have food with it, give some time before you do go and drive a car or this and that. You have to give the medicine time to work, Yoga, you have to allow the medicine to work. And that's what Savasana does. You have to allow the body to rest. You have just gone through this whole process of moving muscles, pulling muscles, changing shapes, getting energy to flow through the body. Now you have to let the body rest and allow that energy to settle and begin to move. When I go to my holistic doctor, right, he is a kinesiologist, and he has a combination of German and Chinese medicines. It's a very interesting combination, but its basis is in Chinese medicine and the meridian lines that run through the body. And the meridian lines that run through the body take 24 hours to go through all the energies through the body, through all the meridian lines. It takes 24 hours. You can always look at, there's an energetic clock, right, that gives you how the body cycles through energies in Chinese medicine. Whenever he does a clearing for me, you have to wait 25 hours to allow the body to reset. That's based on ancient medicine. This is similar. When you come into Savasana, it is not time to check the phone. It's not time to leave the class. It's not time to fiddle. You want to let the body rest. So come into Savasana. And if you fall asleep, some teachers argue about that. I've seen things where they say, oh, don't fall asleep in Savasana. You have to be aware. Fall asleep. Fall asleep. There's no better healing for the body than sleep. And you just applied this rigorous medicine to your body to heal it, offering it healing, offering it self-care. Be gentle and rest. Some teachers I see do a lot of things during Savasana that make it very challenging to rest. For my Savasanas in my classes, it's going to be silent for the majority of the time. I may do a reading, a gentle reading during that of something that I'd like you to hear, like a bit of a bedtime story, I guess. Being a musician, I may bring in a guitar or my sitar, and I may play some light music during it for a portion, depending on how much time we have. I may do a yoga nidra, right, to really get you into a deep relaxation. Right? But they're generally quiet and silent. And that's what they should be. All you have to do in Savasana is breathe, be still, and sink into your mat. That's it. Close your eyes and sink. Let the medicine work. If you don't allow the medicine to work, it's not going to have a full effect. If you blow out during Savasana, or if you have a teacher that has a very active Savasana that you can't just be still in, it's going to be challenging to really allow that medicine to work and get the 100% full effect. So the most peaceful and still and quiet Savasana is the best, in my opinion. And again, maybe there's a light reading, maybe there's a light guided meditation, maybe there's a little light playing. My teacher used to pick up his guitar and do a little light playing. It's where I got the idea from. I found it very soothing. Nothing loud, nothing boisterous, just some gentle playing to help soothe you and allow the medicine to work. So when you come into Savasana like you would any pose. Take it seriously. Lay there and rest. And when you come out of Savasana, don't skip the steps. I don't know how your teacher teaches, but my teacher and how I teach it, I have very specific steps. First you're going to bring an awareness to the fingers and the toes. And that just means like a little gentle, it's not just. And I'll have people bring their arms behind their bodies. And this is not stretching them up. It's just letting them come up and rest. That means a lot to the side, that's fine. Then you bend your knees into the body. And then you roll off onto your right side and you rest there. And I have people rest there for a few breaths. And then slowly, you bring your head up last. You're going to bring your hand down, your left hand down by your heart. And there's a reason we roll onto the right, because of how blood flows and also having to do with digestion and how the digestion works. And you slowly, coming up, bringing the head up last, come into Sukhasana, your easy seat. Close the eyes. In my classes, I have students come into prayer position. whatever your teacher has you do. And continue that rest in there. You're coming out of that Savasana, maintain that calm and that peace. And continue to breathe. So allow the medicine to work. Savasana is one of the most important postures in your yoga class. So enjoy it and allow it to do its job. Breathe, be still, and just sink into the mat. So, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Be happy to answer. Namaste.